handled by the national institutions like Istana Budaya, JKKN, Jabatan Kebudayaan Kesenian Negara, and of course Aswara as an institution helped to expand. And I think what Aswara did, I personally and most of the musicians, Kamrul, my music director, we are actually graduated from Aswara. So the kind of like from Kelantan to Kuala Lumpur. So I was not being raised in Kelantan, and but due to the education in Aswara, expand or planted some seed or passion in the art form. So basically, Makyong performance now being revived or being worked by the young practitioners. So and what you're going to see later is just a snippet and sedotan petikan daripada the whole performance. Tapi dalam 1 jam juga lah, taklah datang baru nak duduk dah kena bangkit kan, kena balik. I'm sure you're going to enjoy, although you're going to be with us about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Jadi I just would like to share, kalau if you see any Makyong performance, these are the structures that what you're going to see. Definitely the opening of Makyong with the opening dance. That is what makes it so different between Makyong and the Western drama. Like Western drama, what is the story? The conflict. That's the most important thing to appear. But in Makyong, later on, we would like to dance. As just imagine this performance in villages. After prayer, they don't have TV, television, and any other entertainment, so they come and So Makyong starts with traditional dance and mengadak rebab, where actually the meaning means the main singer facing the rebab or the spike fiddle. But some believe that it is a salutation to the rebab. But when I interviewed the scholars, the practitioners, it's not about the salutation to the rebab. It's actually giving respect. So basically that's what you're going to see, where all the actors duduk, sit down and nyanyi mengadak rebab. That's number one you can see. The second one, the actors usually stand up and dance in a circle. That's number 2, the second song. Where the prince, the Makyong, how to differentiate in full costume, the pants are the male character. So what's interesting about traditional Malay theatre, especially Makyong, the male character played by female actors. So how you can differentiate with their wearing pants and they have this high headgear, means they are the king. Whereby the female, smaller headgear, just cover the forehead, and with the sarung, the female. And so that's why dia dua-dua lelaki dan perempuan. Because dulu-dulu dia present in the palace. So the king, can you just imagine the king and watching another handsome guy, hugging with the female, and definitely his own princess might, his own queen might fall in love with the male character. So when they transform into the palace, that's where they change. Menjadi perempuan dan perempuan berlakon. And bila bersentuhan tak ada masalah. Maybe saya adalah Makyong and I'm married to Kamrul, the musicians, and ada scene yang hug and kiss and my husband is there. So bila perempuan dan perempuan, they allow that it happen in the palace. So that's what, one of the major change. And then after that, the king alone, after the second dance, all the dayang-dayang and the prince will leave the stage, the Makyong solo. The Makyong definitely will sing one solo part. He's actually going to call his servant. The servant, it doesn't mean Western understanding of the servant. The servant means they are the guardians. They have 2 servants, older servant and younger servant. So younger servant, they believe they are the guardian of the king. So diorang memang menjaga raja. So that's why the servant can have big final say to the king. If let's say the king might be taking some cruel decisions, the servant can guide. The servant also can, dulu political, the servant can say lah, boleh hit the government atau hit the politics through the 2 servants. So the Makyong will call the first servant and Makyong exit. The older servant will sing a song, lagu sedara, and call the second servant. They're actually teasing themselves. Okay, and then they meet. Well, once the 2 servants meeting the king, that's where actually the king will say something about, okay, last night I dreamt of this, for example. That's the only cue that the audience know apa cerita yang nak dimain. What is the story that they're going to play for tonight? So that's called pecah cerita. So from that performance structure, kalau tak ada tu, if they don't have that, that's not Makyong. So that's why it will take a lot of time. And for this Midsummer Night's Dream, I could not take the whole bunch of Midsummer Night's Dream because the performance structure of Makyong is like 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's the structure. Unless if I want to do Shakespeare and then inserted Makyong performance techniques, that is different. But for this round, I dissolve the Western text in Makyong. So that's what you're going to see. And after that, you definitely will. But my exploration, I injected the story from the beginning. So that's actually my contribution to Makyong itself. Instead of wait for after 1 hour the story, I injected like a little bit story to exploration as a young director, but not really young, but young director in Makyong. Okay.